This is an AI-generated discourse.
Today, we're jumping into a really interesting paper by Don Olcott Jr. that asks a pretty bold question about the future of open universities. Are these institutions, which were once total pioneers, kind of facing an identity crisis? And could a classification system, of all things, be the key to their future? All right, let's get into it.
So let's kick things off with what sounds like a super simple question. What even is an open university? I mean, you probably have a picture in your mind, but as we're about to see, that term has been stretched so wide, it's starting to lose its shape.
And this slide right here, it gets to the heart of the whole issue. You've got Athabasca University in Canada, serving around 40,000 students, and then you have India's Indira Gandhi National Open University, with over 1 million. Both are called open universities, but come on, their scale, their mission, how they operate, they're in completely different universes. This creates a ton of confusion for pretty much everyone.
And look, this isn't just some small academic debate. The paper argues that this is a full-blown identity crisis. These places that literally invented accessible education are now kind of lost, trying to figure out where they fit in a world that has totally changed around them.
This quote from Alan Tite, man, it really puts it all into perspective. Just because you were a pioneer back in the day doesn't mean you have a free pass to the future. Open universities have to prove themselves all over again, and this time, the field is a lot more crowded.
So how did we even get to this point? Well, the paper breaks it down into 2 different eras. First, you had the golden era, think the 70s to the mid-90s. This was all about innovation, reaching the masses, total game changer. But since 2000, we've been in this era of ambiguity, where things are just messy. There's a bit of complacency, a ton of competition, and just constant disruption.
The first big problem is that their mission has gotten fuzzy. You know, when one label is used for institutions that are so incredibly different, what does it even mean anymore? Who are you for? What are you trying to do? The answers just aren't as clear as they used to be.
And second, the competition is just wow. For a long, long time, if you wanted distance education, you went to an open university. That was their turf. But now, almost every single traditional university has an online program. Their unique advantage, their special sauce, it's pretty much gone. Online learning is just normal now.
So you put it all together, a blurry mission, and a super crowded marketplace, and what do you get? You get stakeholder confusion. Students, governments, employers, they're all scratching their heads wondering, okay, but what makes an open university open and special today?
So what's the fix? Well, this brings us to the core idea of the paper, making a case for a formal classification system, or what's called a taxonomy. Basically, a way to bring some order to all this chaos.
Now, before we go any further, let's just be clear on what a taxonomy is. It's nothing complicated. It's just a system for organizing stuff into groups based on what they have in common. Think about how we classify animals. Lions and tigers are in the cat family, right? It's the same idea. The whole point is to create clarity and a shared language so everyone's on the same page.
Okay, this part is absolutely critical, and the author is super clear about it. What's being proposed here is not some finished, rigid system. It is not about ranking universities from best to worst. This is about starting a global conversation. It's a call for these universities to get together and ask, hey, would creating a shared language actually help us? It's a catalyst for dialogue. That's it. So if it's not a ranking system, then what's the point? Why even have this conversation? Well, the paper argues that if these institutions do create this shared language, there are 6 massive benefits that could come out of it.
And here's the quick roadmap of those benefits. It's all about getting clear on your mission, standing out in the market, focusing on academic quality, building way better partnerships, offering credentials that actually make sense today, and finding new ways to get funding. Let's break them down. First up, and this is the big one, is mission clarity. The whole process forces an institution to look in the mirror and ask that really tough question, who are we really? It's about finally getting your internal identity to match how the outside world, students, funders, you name it, actually sees you.
And once you know who you are, well, then you can actually tell a compelling story. In a world where every university says they're flexible and innovative, a clear classification helps you show what really makes you different. It's about cutting through all that noise and attracting the people who are the right fit for you.
Next is this really crucial shift in thinking about academic quality. For a while, for some, the game was just about getting bigger and bigger, more students, more programs. But that's not sustainable.
A taxonomy encourages a different approach, setting realistic goals and choosing to deliver a top-notch experience over just chasing massive numbers. And this quote from the paper just says it all, doesn't it? Packing in more students doesn't magically make your programs better. But when you build your story around a genuine commitment to quality, yeah, that gets people's attention. That builds a reputation that actually means something.
Benefit number 4 is all about working together instead of against each other. A taxonomy would basically create a shared playbook. So, a university in, say, Africa could learn from a successful tech partnership at a university in Asia. You learn from each other's wins and losses, and you build stronger programs for everyone.
Oh, this is a huge one for today's world. This dialogue forces everyone to take a hard look at the credentials they offer. Does everyone really need a 4-year degree for every single career path? This encourages a move toward a smarter mix of traditional degrees and these shorter, more focused micro-credentials that can get someone a job or a promotion, like right now.
And finally, let's talk about money. Relying only on government funding and student tuition is, well, a pretty risky game these days. By having a really clear identity, universities can make a much stronger case to new kinds of partners. This whole process helps them share strategies for getting funding from corporations or foundations who are aligned with their specific, unique mission.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's so important to come back to that central theme. This proposal, this idea of a taxonomy, it's not about putting universities into neat little boxes. It's about lighting a fire. It's about sparking a conversation that is long, long overdue.
Because the taxonomy itself, that's just the tool. The real prize, the whole point of the exercise, is what comes out of that conversation. It's better communication, smarter strategy, more innovation, and for the first time in a long time, maybe a powerful collective voice that can shape what open education looks like for the next generation.
And that leaves us with this one big thought to chew on. In a world that's so crowded and confusing, could something as simple as a shared language be the very key that open universities need to unlock their next great chapter? Thanks for joining us.